Hello and good day to all of you. So welcome back to my YouTube channel Modern Fusions. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to conduct a complete walkthrough about the software Cakewalk by Bandlab, as you can visible in the screen, for the purpose of digital audio production while staying at your home, right? So you can see the download URL, right? This is the URL where you can download your software. So the specialty of this software, we refer this as a DAW, digital audio workstation. You can create professional high-grade audio music productions, digital productions while staying at your home. So that is why this software is very popular among professional artists and audio engineers, because of the comprehensive stack of features embedded to this software. So among all those things, the most important attribute associated with this software is it's completely free, right? It's completely free. So without discussing of a lot of features, initially I would like to show you a small jingle which is created by myself through this software. I think that will be helpful for you to get a proper awareness about the capability of this software, right? So let's look into that quickly. So this is the initial interface that you will be getting once you load the Cakewalk. So there are a lot of features. Keep in mind, as I mentioned earlier also, this is a walkthrough, right? I will be conducting step-by-step tutorial sessions in forthcoming videos explaining how you can use each of these features one after another, because you cannot learn everything at a one day. It's not going to be a proper way, which is going to be a complete clutter, right? Okay, enough talking. So let's see this. Let's have a quick listen into this jingle created by myself, where by combining multiple music pieces available in this repository provided by the Cakewalk, associated with several virtual instruments. Okay. Okay, now there are a lot of things for us to learn in this software, right? So just to quickly elaborate, you can see this jingle comprises of 4 virtual instruments tracks. First one is from bass guitar, second one is from an electric piano, third one is from a drum set, and final one is from the string section, right? So I will open a complete new project, right, in order to go from the scratch. So I am closing this. I'm not going to save anything, right? So keep in mind, in my next tutorial session, I'm going to discuss about downloading the Cakewalk software and configuring it to be used in your PC, right? So this is the link, this is the shortcut associated with the software. So you can see it's loaded. So several VST plugins. I will explain all these things step by step. So I'm going to create a blank new project. So you can see the empty project template. So let me click on this, right? So after loading the project, Cakewalk project for the first time, this is the initial interface you will be getting, right? So there are a lot of features associated with various aspects, controlling various aspects of audio production. So I'm not going to explain those things one by one, right? I will explain it then and there. Okay, this is the empty project that I opened. So the first task that we have to do is to add virtual instruments. Now what is a virtual instrument? Virtual instrument is a kind of a software representation associated with the real world physical instruments that we have, like drum sets, keyboards, guitars, violins, etc. So here I'm going to initially load a drum set as the virtual instrument. Now these virtual instruments are available as VST plugins in the internet. So you can simply download those plugins and you can integrate those with the Cakewalk Studio DAW digital audio workstation for the in order to be used for your audio creations. Now downloading these virtual plugins and installation of those things, configuring, I'm not going to discuss in this tutorial. Be patient, stay tuned. Though all these things will be methodically discussed step by step, this is a surface level walkthrough today which I'm going to do. Okay, so let's add the virtual instrument. So I'm right clicking and you can see the pop-up menu which is prompting. So in this pop-up menu I have to select the option insert instrument. So you can see I'm getting a small user interface. So I have to go to the instruments tab, and here you will notice a small drop down. Under that you will see a lot of instruments which are categorized under various sections as bass, drums, general MIDI. I will discuss about MIDI. MIDI stands for music instrument digital inference. That's associated with how you can connect electric keyboard or another electric musical instrument with your computer software, right? So stay tuned for those things. So pianos, strings. So I'm planning to load this empty power drum kit, right? Let's load that empty power drum kit, or else, okay, let me load this SI drum kit, right? So I'm loading, I have selected that. So then click on the create button. So you will notice the drum kit is loaded, right? This is the virtual instrument, virtual drum kit. So if you click on these pieces of the drum kit, see, individually they are functioning, right? So if you want to create a small drum beat, right, there are multiple ways to do it, right? So one easy way is you can activate the virtual keyboard option. So you can go to the views, right, go to virtual controllers, and I am activating computer keyboard. So what does this mean? Now this virtual computer keyboard is going to be functioning as the interfacing mechanism for me to play the drum kit. Now say for an example, I am pressing letter A and letter S in the virtual representation available in the screen. Likewise, or else I can easily press those buttons in my keyboard as well. Right? So likewise, all these instruments can be configured and easily interacted through your keyboard through this virtual controller mechanism. But we are not going to use that, right? Because the standard way how musicians or how the artists mainly used for the beat creation is the PRV. PRV stands for piano roll view. Piano roll view. So how to get the piano roll view? So you can see, you have to select your track, right, which is the drum kit. This is the virtual drum kit track which I have added to my project, right? Then place your mouse here, right click, go to, okay, so right click, go to this view option, right? Then you can see the option of concern, which is the piano roll view, right? So if we click on the piano roll view, you can see it's open like this, right? So and if you double click on this, it's further been expanded, right? If you want to close it, you can click on this, so it's vanishing, and here we have the main console view. So yes, let's drag it towards down side so we can see our normal designing area, right? So we were interacting with our piano roll. So what is this piano roll actually? Now you might have experienced in early childhood or in older days, there were certain dolls, certain instruments. If you wind it, it will produce some music which doesn't need any electricity, right? So if you investigated the mechanism residing on those toys, right? They have a metal roll. On top of that metal roll, there are various stripes situated, associated to the tone or the tune which has to be produced, and it's been rotated, right? When it's rotating, you have a series of strings or metal keys which is being intercepting, touching those stripes, where then the relevant metal strings will trigger and it will produce a noise, right? So I think in Wikipedia you can see it's there's an image like this. It is the mechanism which is being used for the creation of drum beats and various other add-ons associated with latest digital audio production as well. So though it's an old concept, still it has another meaning in the digital audio production field. Okay, so let's go back to my screen. So I'm loading the piano roll view, right, which I loaded earlier. So right, this is the piano roll view. So again, you can scroll down and you can click, right? So now I'm going to create a specialized simple drum beat associating via using this piano roll view. So this is the piano roll region which I can use to create my drum beat, right? So those who have done Western music might have certain understanding about the notations that we are using, right, to represent the time intervals. So we have the whole element, which is we refer technically as a semi-breve, right? Then we refer half, which is minim, crotchet, quaver, semi-quaver, and demi-semi-quaver, right? Likewise, if you have studied Western music, it would be beneficial, but it's not a mandatory thing, right? So here I'm going to set up the time limits associated with my piano roll for the designing purposes. So I'm going to use not crotchets, I'm going to use semi-quavers, where per a particular time span there will be 16 elements. Okay, I have selected those, and the next thing is I have to arrange the zoom of my piano roll view, right, just to make it sense. Then I can properly configure my time elements when defining a drum beat. So through these options you can configure the relevant zoom. Okay, music is a game that you have to play with the time. So time is a quite important aspect associated with creating music. So here now I'm going to use the piano roll view to design my drum beat. So you can see here from starting from 1 to 2, right? we can refer it as a one specific time elapse, right? Time elapse. So this time elapse or this time span is divided into 4 segments, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And from this 2 to 3 is the second time elapse. Again, you can see that time span is divided into 4 elements. Why am I able to see this proper structuring, right? In my piano roll view, because I have adjusted the zooming properly, right? So I will show you, if you change the zoom, it is changing, right? So you should be careful enough to apply the appropriate zooming to facilitate your designing purposes. Okay, right. So let's go back to the beginning, right? Now I'm going to, as I mentioned, let's create a small drum pattern, right? So the key, right, the C3, right, or the, let's say, the third octave associated with in your keyboard, the starting C of the third octave, from that point onwards you can hear in the piano roll the various voices or sounds associated with the drum kit. Okay, so I have selected a semiquaver to represent my notation, right, associated with the time span. So let's right, okay, it's selected. Now I'm going to apply a bass drum, right? So I have to select the draw tool here, right? If you have selected the smart tool, according to the context, the relevant tool will be automatically activated, right? That is why it's been specified as smart. So when I'm clicking on the piano roll, smart tool knows the person is going to design a drum beat now. Okay, so let's add the drum beat elements. Okay, so you have to double click, right? So one drum snippet or drum knot is added with a time span of a semi-quaver, right? So again I'm adding another one. Likewise, for a total time span of a 1 unit, you can see it has 4 sections, right? So I have added 4 drum beats. So keep on adding, because I'm going to create a drum beat associated with 2 time spans, 2 time elapses, right? Okay, shall we play this and see how it is audible for us? Right, now you can see the counter or the index is keep on moving. So I want to stop it, right? I want to stop it, and I want this to be looped, continuously looped. Therefore I am activating a looping point, right? You can see where I am placing my cursor, right? Then right click, you can right click and set a loop point, right? Set a loop point. So the starting margin of the loop point, I am dragging it towards the left side to the inception point of my beat, and the ending margin of my loop point, right, is being located with the final timestamp associated with my beat. Now shall we play it and see how it sounds? So we'll take the track to the beginning. Okay, now you can see it's been repeatedly playing, right? After reaching to the end element, again it's been reverted back, right, to the starting point, because I have added this loop point. Okay, let's stop it and let's try to make this drum beat a little bit more comprehensive. Yes, now we have already added the bass drum. So my next attempt is to make this drum beat a little bit more attractive by adding a snare as well. So I'm going to add a snare again for the duration of a semiquaver, 1 each, right? I'm skipping the first time elapse, right? The section 1 each. So I'm adding the snare 1 each. shall we hear to this? Now you can see it looks a little bit professional now, right? You have a proper feeling in your drum pattern. So let's try to make it even more professional or attractive. So I am planning to add the hi-hat, right? This is the hi-hat. So okay. So you can, right, you have to keep on adding. If you can drag as well, but sometimes if you keep on dragging, it's not giving you the proper note duration. We have activated the snap, right? Snap is to adjust notes which are going beyond the time span which you have specified, right? Even though just to keep a proper awareness about what you are doing, I recommend and I suggest to manually add your elements, right? Then you are completely aware on what you are doing, right? So we are keep on adding our hi-hat points. Now hence 1 out of 16, right? So for a one sub unit, you can see there are 4 hi-hat notes, right? Likewise in a particular one time span, right, you have 4 units, so you have 16 notes, right? So 1 unit represents 1 out of 16th, right? That's the meaning of it. So let's play it and see. Let's take it to the beginning. So this is how it is audible to now, even more attractive, right? So let's try to delete, right, some of these intermediate hi-hat points. You can select the note, right click, it will be deleted. Select the note, right click. Here you can select the note, right click, right? Now shall we play it and see? So you can see I have introduced an in-between halt, right, a small halt. So let me try to fill that halt, maybe with something. I don't know whether it will be ugly. Let's give it a try. This is a learning session, right? And so now let's hear it. So I think it sounds bad, so let's remove that part, right? So likewise, I just want to show you, right, you can do a lot of experiments, right, via I'm adding a symbol, right, for your okay, so you can see likewise this piano roll view is extremely nice environment for us to design our drum beats in a really professional way, right? So I think you have got some reasonable idea about how to create your own drum beat, right? So creating a comprehensive track is a sort of a lengthy task, right? So I plan to do multiple sessions in forthcoming tutorials to elaborate on those aspects. Okay, I think we have completed our drum beat. So let's have a quick listen into that again. Right, so that is what we discussed today, right, about using the piano roll view to properly manage and design our drum beats, right? So as I was explaining earlier, though the piano roll is a very old concept, you can see it has a lot of practical value associated with these contexts, right? So so this is our drum kit. I think I don't have I think now it's exceeding 20 minutes, so I plan to stop my video. Before that, let's see whether I can show you another virtual instrument, maybe piano, right? Keyzone's Classic. This is another virtual piano instrument or virtual instrument plugin that has been downloaded as a VST plugin, and which is being integrated to the Cakewalk designing studio, right? So as I mentioned, it's impossible to discuss everything through a one session, right? So please stay tuned, right? I will be discussing all these aspects as well in forthcoming sessions, right? So in here also you can activate the virtual controller, right? Piano keyboard, and you can easily play. You can adjust the octave, right? Here, right? I can play even from the physical keyboard as well. So even you can play songs as well. Right, just a small part. We'll do a lot of exercises associated with these tools. So then you can see the piano is being added as another track, so I can mix the piano along with the drum beat, and I can add a string track or a guitar track, and we can do impossible things. So this is a very powerful tool. Apart from that, you can integrate your physical keyboard as well through MIDI cables to your laptop, your PC, where you can integrate those music as well, and you can apply various functions, various enhancements to those as well. So right, so before winding up, I would like to say thank you very much to all of you for being with close to 25 minutes, I guess, while going through this tutorial. So I will utilize my maximum effort to explain every nook and corner when doing these tutorials. Hence, then you will get a proper understanding. So if you like this sort of tutorials, and I would kindly request, please subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to provide a thumbs up to my tutorials as well. Thank you very much. Be safe. Have a good day. See you.